Yes,
Good.
please.
So we've been talking a lot about how to provide feedback, I think, around people's role in the team, their leadership, their interpersonal interactions, the things that, to be honest, take up the majority of people's challenges with other humans that they work with. There is a part of our work as well, which is about improving the quality of teaching practice. And I just want to suggest the literature here says it's actually quite hard to make judgments about high quality teaching practice through observations, and particularly when you're only sampling a little bit of a lesson here or there. So first, I just want to make people sort of reflective about their own subjective biases, the tendency to sometimes look at other people's teaching through a lens of, is it more or less like your teaching? And I think early on, when you are looking at what's going on in classroom practice, it's actually a lot more effective to be focusing on the students and focusing on the impact of student engagement, behaviour, and what they're producing in the classroom. This gives you early on a really safe way to be in a classroom, but funny enough, not actually talk about necessarily what they were doing, but much more about the impact on student engagement, student cognition, student work. That then creates a platform for saying, you know, this is what I noticed. It's actually a synthesis of your observations about students. And that gives a conversation then about what were you intending in the lesson? How did it go compared to what you were intending? What are the practices that you felt like, or the techniques you used today that resulted in your intended impact? But I think early on, actually coming in to observe the students and provide a synthesis of the observations there is a much safer way for a period of time, rather than coming in and thinking, oh, somehow in the next 30 minutes, I have to be honest, look at such a small sample of that person's teaching and come up with their next best move for practice development. That's a pretty tough ask. And I want to suggest, you know, having some humility around that is really useful. It's unlikely that in that small sample that you're going to see what is the next best move for that person.